blocks I'm going to cover are age uke, this is rising block, soto uke, outer block, uchi uke, inside block, gedan barai, downward block, and shuto uke, knife hand block. These are the 5 blocks that are covered in the level 1, level 2 content areas, which bring us up to white, yellow, orange, green belt level. The first block is age uke, rising block. Rising block comes up the center and then twists and blocks at the top. Up the center, twisting and blocking at the top. With age uke, the wrist should be above the head. Not too far this way because now I can't see, and not too far the other way because now there's a chance of being hit still, and also it's not very strong at this point. So age uke, our hand marks the position at which we're going to block. Some styles of karate just block, like this. Shotokan karate, mark, then block, mark, then block, mark, then block. This could be interpreted also as perhaps a hair grab with a forearm strike, or grabbing the wrist and twisting and then breaking the arm this way. Grabbing and twisting and breaking your opponent's arm. So blocks are not always just blocks. And actually, a very interesting part in Japanese, the word for block is uke, but it doesn't translate directly as block. Uke means to receive. So a blocking movement, in English, block means stop, repel, don't let them get through, block. In Japanese, uke, ukeru, receive. So we're actually receiving their attack. We're taking their energy and deflecting it into a different direction with our block. So it's very important to understand the difference of concept in our minds between the Japanese way of thinking and the Western way of thinking. A block is not just a stopping movement. By receiving and using our twist of our arm for our different blocking movements, we receive their energy and redirect it to a different direction, allowing us to be effective with our block and also allowing us to conserve our energy. If we meet our attack directly, now we're like a head-on collision. Attacker comes, our block meets. This is not necessarily the right way to block. Instead, we need to absorb the energy and send it in a different direction. That way, we speed up their attack, but by redirecting their attack, our counter of our punch or our kick is like the head-on collision. We want our block to receive and our counter to be head-on. This is an important concept to understand when talking about blocks. So, getting back to the rising block, let me just show you the movement of the hands. We mark, the fist is in position, the elbow comes down, and this elbow comes up. So at this point, it looks like our hands are crossed. Then, this one here continues down into the fist position at the side, and the other one comes up, and the elbow starts moving outwards, and our wrist rotates. Now this is directly above here. We don't want this too low. 1, we might not be able to see, and 2, if someone did punch, we hit ourselves. Obviously that's not good. This should be above the head and away from the head, not too close. The twisting motion of the arm, the blocking arm at the end, this is the deflection. So as the opponent's punch comes to the head and this blocks, the punch is sent over the top of your head through this deflection move. Age uke, rising block. I'll show all of these moving forward too in a minute. Next block, outer block, soto uke. Soto uke. This block requires the twisting of the wrist for our deflection. So as our punch comes towards our solar plexus this time, rising block was against to the head, solar plexus this time, we meet and twist and deflect the punch past. Hand at this point is palm facing away. As this pulls back and clenches, this comes across using the hip twist and meets and then twist at the end. Across and twist. This is Sota Uke, outer block. The next block is inside block, meaning coming from the inside. Outer block coming from the outside. So Uchi Uke comes, the blocking hand now, both fists are clenched. This is underneath the pullback hand. And then as this hand pulls back, this one goes out. And again, wrist twist at the end of the technique. This provides the deflection, not just meeting head on. Twisting. Prepare and block. Prepare and block. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, with speed. Uchi Uke. Next block is Gedan Barai. Gedan Barai is your downward block. Downward block. Okay. Once again, towards the end, your wrist is twisting. All of the same with the punches, twisting at the end, blocking, twisting, twisting, twist, down, twist. This motion here provides the deflection. So with downward block, if I begin in a downward block position, my opposite hand comes across the body, level with the left shoulder in this case, and then as this hand pulls back, this one blocks down and twists. 1, 2. 1, 2. Like so. Now with power. Okay, so all of these blocks so far, the rising block, outer block, inside block, and downward block, are using your forearm as a surface to block. With the rising block, we're using this part of our forearm. Inside block, also this side of the forearm. Downward block, same. The only one that uses the other side of the forearm is the inside block, where we're using this part of the forearm here. Now, obviously we have our forearm bones beneath our muscle here, and sometimes one of the big complaints of beginner students is painful arms from contact with punches and blocking. This is natural. You shouldn't worry too much about it, because as your technique improves, you'll actually figure out how to block without that pain occurring quite so often. It's still going to happen. But while you're training, you're building up your arms through the conditioning of striking and blocking with your opponent, and gradually your arms are going to get used to that sort of thing. You won't experience very much bruising, and it won't feel quite so painful when you block, because you're learning how to deflect and receive your opponent rather than blocking straight on directly. This is when it hurts, straight at your opponent. By twisting here or whichever block it is that we're doing, now you're taking care of your arms and you're not going to hurt quite so much. So don't get disconcerted if you have bruised arms. It's natural to begin with. It will go away. The next block after downward block is knife hand block. So instead of using our arms to block this time, we're using our hand position. The knife hand comes, this position here, from the bottom of the little finger down to the wrist. This section of the hand is referred to as shuto, knife hand, or sword hand. Usually knife hand is the translation. Shuto. So we're not blocking with our finger or with our wrist. We're actually blocking with this part of the hand. So once again, as you can see, we twist our wrist and angle our hand at about a 45-degree angle here, not all the way or this way. This is a backhand block. That's a different block altogether. We need to block with this part of the hand here. So we prepare our left hand, pull back hand straight towards our target, right hand by the side of our face, almost similar to Gedam Barai, right? But then we block across, and our pull back hand comes level with our solar plexus, actually just below, but if I put my hand like this, it would cover my solar plexus. This is the position of my pull back hand. The hand position, we need to have fingers together and the thumbs tucked in. By tucking the thumbs in, it straightens out everything in your hand and makes it a little bit tighter on the side of the hand here and here. Right? So hand position is also important. We don't want any stray fingers hanging out here because they're going to get injured as we block if they're not together. This way. Knife hand block.